This is LeetCode 448, find all numbers disappeared in an array. And this isn't easy, however, we're going to use this follow-up to solve, which is, it's kind of tricky. Okay, given an array nums of n integers where nums I is in the range 1 to n, return an array of all integers in the range 1 to n that do not appear in the numbers. So for instance, this is 1 through 8, but we don't see a 5 and a 6 in here. And there's actually these two repeated these are repeated and they take the place of those. So we return a 5 and a 6. Same thing with this. It needs to be 1, 2, but there's a duplicate of 1. So that's taking the place of what should be there, 2. So we have to figure out how to find the missing numbers. And yeah, here, let's go ahead and go here for this explanation. So what we need to do is loop through the elements. And we need to actually map these to an index. Now, there is no number 0 in here. But we do have to map to the 0th index. And also, if we were to map to the 8th index, it would be out of bounds. Because this goes from, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 would be out of bounds. So in order to get the corresponding index for the element, we need to subtract 1. We'll forget about this for now. So we subtract 1 from 4, which would be 3. So we go to the 3rd index, 0, 1, 2, right? And we mark this negative, like it's accounted for. Then we go to the next index, right here. And then we subtract 1 from that, which would be 2. And we go to the second index, 0, index 2, which is 0, 1, 2 right here. Oh, sorry, this is the 3rd. So 0, 1, 2, 3, we mark that negative here. And then for this one, we mark the 2nd. This one, we mark the 1st. This one, we mark the 6th. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like so. The 7th. The 1st. It's already negative. The 2nd, it's already negative. This one right here, right? So now that we've done all of the negative marking here, we notice that there are two numbers that are different here, the 8 and the 2. And we to find that missing number, we're going to do this process in the reverse order. We'll find the instances of the positive numbers here. And we want to remember that, like what the indexes are, right? So eight. Let me just line these up so you could see very easily. Yeah, and there's no 8th index. Okay, so you find the positive numbers, which in this case, like, these are our positive numbers. And we need to find their indices. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the fourth index is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And then 5. Oops. Right? And then in order to get the corresponding element that's missing, instead of subtracting 1, we're going to add 1. So down here, we add 1, and then we have these two elements here, which would turn into 5 and 6. And if you see, that's what they have here as what they need as the output. So let's go ahead and code this up. Let's leave this up. I mean, this is pretty helpful. So I'm going to write comments first, just so that we can stay on track. So we need to loop through the elements. Okay. And we need to find corresponding index. Mark element at corresponding index negative, even if it's already negative. Even if already, right? And then once we go through the whole array, we need to loop through the array again. And if we encounter, if a number is positive, we need to find the corresponding element, right? By adding one. Adding 1 to the index of that element. Okay. Bye. Okay. And then we add it to results. Return, and then we return the results. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and loop through the elements. I is less than nums.length. And we need to increment. Oh man. I just changed up my key bindings, so it's a little wonky. Sorry about that. Okay, then we have to find the corresponding index by subtracting 1. So we can call this just something very descriptive. Corresponding index equals, and then we go to the element, right? Which is nums. Man, I wish this would disappear as soon as I started typing. Okay, nums I minus 1. And then also we have to keep in mind that we might run into something we've already marked negative. So in that case, we have to get the absolute value so we don't mark it positive, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, this is how we're getting the corresponding index, and then we need to mark that. So nums corresponding index equals, and then we can do negative math abs nums corresponding index, right? Boom. So now we've marked that negative. And yeah, I think that's pretty much, yeah, all we need to do there. Then we need to loop through again. So I'll just grab this. And we can have results array here. You can use reduce too, if you want to like reduce the nums into a new array. You can do that too. But we're just going to use this results array for now. If the number is positive, so if nums I is greater than, yeah, my key bindings again, greater than 0, then we know it's positive, right? And if a number is positive, we need to find the corresponding element. So we can call it corresponding element equals, and then the corresponding element, remember we find that by adding 1 to the index. So we go I plus 1, 1. And then we push that to the array. Dot push corresponding element, and then we return the results. Like so. Okay, so if we were to plug this in, console.log find disappeared numbers, and we plug in this example, then we should see here 5, 6. Yeah, so these are our missing numbers, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. Okay, and remember also, this is running with these follow-up constraints. So this is running an O of n runtime, and there's no extra space used. So this isn't easy because it's very easy if you were to use something like a frequency array to see how many times the you like keep track of each time one of these elements shows up, and then and then you would loop through and find the index for each one of these, and then say, hey, what's the frequency of the frequency plus 1, or the index plus 1? So you'd be like, what's the frequency of 1, 1, right? 2, and then be like, okay, the frequency of 2 is 2. Frequency of 3 is 2. Frequency of 4 is 1. Frequency of 5 is 0. So every time there's a 0 frequency, then you can put that in the results array. The problem is that's going to be linear space too, but it would be way easier than doing it this way. Anyways, yeah, I hope you found that helpful, and yeah, just let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. This one's kind of tricky. Thank you.